We are going to start with our first demo, and it's going to be from Alex and Osvaldo from the VS Code team. Hello, hello. Hello. How are y'all doing today?
Hi, Olivia. Doing well, thanks. How are you?
Good, good. So excited to have you here. Alex, I know you've been on one of these release live streams before, but it's been a minute. And Osvaldo, I think that this is your very first one. So with that, I was hoping y'all could just do a quick intro of yourself so people know who you are.
Hi, I'm Alex. You've seen me here once before a couple of years ago, so probably don't remember.
Been that long? Oh my gosh.
I think it's been that long.
That's crazy.
I'm a developer on VS Code, and I also work on the GitHub pull request extension for VS Code.
And I'm Osvaldo. I also work in VS Code. I mostly work in search related stuff. And the cool demo that we're going to show you today, I'm actually, I think, one of the latest people, the latest person to join the team. So yeah, I'm very new to VS Code.
Yes, well, welcome to the live stream for the first time. You've already done amazing work on the team. So if y'all haven't already seen kind of, if you ever follow along with the VS Code internal or iteration plans and things like that, you'll see Osvaldo's name on there and all the great work he's done. Alex, obviously, you've been around for a little bit. You also have done amazing work. So thank you for kind of giving that overview of y'all's roles. With that, should we go ahead and dive into your demo for today?
Yeah, let's do it. So I want to show first what the GitHub Copilot coding agent is. So both Osvaldo's demo and my demo revolve around this. So quick overview of what the coding agent is. So you can assign tasks to the GitHub Copilot coding agent just like you would to a human developer, and it'll go off and work on the task that you assign it. So here I simply assigned Copilot to my issue that I got last week, and it reacted saying it saw it, and then immediately created a pull request to start working on making the change. And you can see here that it has a reasonable title, has a reasonable description, and that's this issue. And what we've been working on is adding this into VS Code. My favorite part about using the coding agent, by the way, is that I can fire it off and then not think about it until I'm ready to context switch again. It's not using any of my local resources. It's just working in GitHub.
Yes, it's so powerful and it's so nice. I think a lot of people be like, "Well, why do you want that?" Like, and it's like it's very nice to be able to just kick off either work that maybe you want to not spend so much brain power on, right? Maybe it's a simpler task and you just want to be like, "Okay, why don't we just let coding agent go do that and then I'm going to go focus on this other thing that I want to do." And I feel like when you think about it that way, it just like frees you up so much to do the work that you want to do. So yeah, I'm super excited for people to see this. If y'all haven't tried this out yet, if you have, there's really cool improvements from this release as well.
Yeah, I love that it's not taking up any of my local clones of my repo too. It's very convenient. Okay, so you need a couple things to get started. You need the GitHub Copilot and chat extensions, of course, bundled. And then you also need the GitHub pull request extensions. Once you have those installed and signed in, then you can see your issues in the issues view here. And I'm just going to search for the one that I want to look at. Okay, so this is the one we're going to add.
Extension, it's so nice. I know that you've been working on GitHub pull request extension for forever, but I love that it's kind of getting even more like love now with that coding agent integration.
Yeah, it's been really nice to get to focus on it again with the coding agent integration. We've been able to do a couple quality of life improvements, which I'll show in a moment too, with the renewed focus. Okay, so we have this issue, and I think it's a good one for the coding agent to work on. So I'm just going to assign it to Copilot. And you can also do that with this quick assign button here. Now it's assigned to Copilot. If we scroll down, we should see that, well, let's refresh, hasn't refreshed yet. We'll see that Copilot has not started working on it. Well, that's unusual. Yeah, there we go. It's started looking at it. And if we refresh,
Love the little reactions that it does to the comments on what's coming.
we'll see that it has, in fact, started working on it. And if we open the PR here, you can see it's created a work in progress title. It has said, oh, it's thanked us for assigning the issue to it. I've never seen that before. That's nice. And if you want to see exactly what it's doing, you can take a look at the session log here. And this is going to show exactly what the coding agent is doing as it works on the PR. Um, Personally, I usually don't spend a lot of time looking at this because for me, the greatest value is, firing it off and seeing what it's done when it's ready. But it can be useful to take a look at this to see what decisions it's made along the way. You can see here we also have a little one in here indicating that we have a change to our Copilot created PRs here. See, there it is. We can see the status here. It's in progress, little yellow in progress thing. I have one that errored out earlier this week. And then these are all PRs that Copilot created for me that it's finished working on and I haven't had a chance to review yet.
There is a question in the chat if we can take it just real quick.
Yeah, of course.
What branch is coding agent working on, and can you select which branch it starts from?
So when you just assign Copilot to an issue like this, you cannot choose which branch. However, Osvaldo will show way later, I think, where you can kick it off from your current branch, even if it's not the main branch.
Cool. That sounds good. And then we have a comment from Doug. Hey, Doug. Saying that this is awesome, all in VS Code. You don't have to navigate to the web. So, yeah, this is essentially kind of if people have used coding agents in, GitHub.com, we basically just brought that same tracking into VS Code, right?
hmm
Awesome.
Yeah, that's exactly right. There are a couple other places you can assign the coding agent from. So, for example, you can right click and assign to the coding agent here. This will do the exact same thing. It just assigns the issue to the coding agent. Another thing you can do is you can use to do comment to assign to the coding agent. So here we have some unfortunate technical debt. To do is almost always technical debt, but there's a code action here. And the new one is this delegate to coding agent. And this will kick off the coding agent. And instead of assigning an issue to the coding agent, this one will give the agent the context of the file and the to-do comment. And it will be able to go from there and work on the to-do comment.
Very cool. And that's new with this release, right?
Exactly. Yep, that one's new.
That's awesome. Another question in the chat: can we have multiple coding agents working at the same time?
Oh, yeah. You can have as many. Oh, I don't know about as many as you want. I was about to say, but you can have several. Yeah. Okay. And I just want to show a couple of our little quality of life improvements that we've gotten to do. So if you're a longtime user of the PR extension, you may have been frustrated by these web views, these issue and PR web views not restoring upon reload. They do now, which is very convenient. So you can keep track of which one you had open last. Another little thing that we've added is you can ask Copilot in the chat view about the current and active PR. So the active PR is the one you have checked out. We don't have a PR checked out right now, but you can also ask it about the open PR, which is the one that's currently visible in your editor here. So I can say, let's see, summarize the code changes in the open pull request. And the hashtag open pull request context will tell Copilot chat all of the stuff about the PR that's currently open here. And then, of course, you need to give it permission to read the open pull request because we don't know what could be in here. Let's just allow that. And it'll take that information from the open pull request and be able to, well, there are any changes yet here, so it doesn't have anything to summarize.
That's
Okay.
very cool.
So
So you can kind of just almost check back in periodically too on the progress then, right? Well, like if you're kind of already in your zone in chat, you can just be like, oh wait, let's go check back in on the coding agent and see where it's at.
yeah, you could if it's open in the web view here. Yep. If you have it checked out, then you can refer to the active pull request. Yep. Okay. So I was hoping it would be a quick one, but it's still working on it. So let's take a look at one that I've started in the past. So I'm going to check out this PR. So this is one that I asked Copilot to work on for me. I think yesterday. It's a pretty simple one. It's just a string change, but we'll check it out. Just like always, like with any pull request, you can check out your pull request using the PR extension, and this will check out the branch that the PR is on, and then you can build and try the changes out locally. Particularly useful for the Copilot changes, as it could have done anything, and you want to see what it's done.
Mhm.
So here, let's see what it did. I mean, it was a very simple change. That is basically what I wanted it to do, but let's just ask it to be more verbose. Let's spell verbose right, although Copilot probably doesn't care.
Mhm.
And this will kick off the coding agent again to start working on this change that I asked it to do.
So you can kinda do, like, a back and forth, essentially.
Exactly, just like you would any pull request from a coworker, from a contributor. So you can see yesterday it started work and then it finished it. And here's me just reviewing it now, asking it to be more verbose. There are the eyes again, saying that it's seen it and it started working. Uh, and it looks like it saw it, but it hasn't quite started working on it yet. So we'll take another refresh and see if it started. And here we go, it started. And we can see back in the session log chat what exactly it's doing to work on this change.
Very cool. Kinda going back to one of those questions earlier about can you have multiple coding agents, running at the same time? How do you personally kind of manage, going between those multiple sessions?
So what I usually do is I'll go through my notifications and see that when I'm ready to context switch, like I finished working on a feature or a bug, I'll go back to my notifications, see what Copilot, see if there are any notifications from Copilot, and then check those out if that's the next thing I want to work on. But yeah,
Okay,
usually with notifications.
cool, that makes sense. Okay, so you can kind of just, like
The other way though is you can keep an eye on it in here. And once there's a change to one of these, you will get the little badge on the view. So if you're a little more, if you want to be notified more quickly, you can use that.
And then there's some good feedback in the chat about the open pull request, saying it would be nice if the open pull request was auto added as context in chat. So some good feedback there.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Thank you, Peter. Cool. All right. Well, this is very awesome. Again, I've used this a lot. It's super handy for, any of that work that, like you're saying, Alex, you just kind of want to like, okay, go do this. And I don't want to look at it until it's done and like we'll review and I can go focus on other things. And then, yeah, again, while it's not using your local resources, super handy. So I know there's even more in this release. Do you have other features you want to show in your demo?
Well, actually, what I wanted to do was hand it over to Osvaldo to continue demoing other ways that we've integrated the coding agent.
All right. That sounds great. Let's do Osvaldo.
Cool. Yeah, I saw in the chat that people were asking if this is only GitHub, and the work that Alex showed, it is a GitHub service, right? But we also built a view within VS Code for you to manage all your agents and all your agentic flows, right? Like people are using agents more and more these days to like do all the work. Um, so you can see you're familiar with regular the pilot chat here, and you can be people usually go into agent mode and say like change the port to 6,000, for example. And we're very familiar with this. It's just gonna go ahead and do the change. You can accept it. You can keep the change, and that's pretty much it, right? So we built this new view here that you can enable by setting this setting, agent sessions view location to set it to view, and then this little guy will show up here. And then what this does is just helps you manage all your chat sessions, everything that you do in chat, whether it's on the chat widget here that we show, or if you create multiple chat editors, they will all show up here. And we'll keep also a history of all your previous chat sessions. So you can just go back and see like, why did I do this? I don't remember. So you go into the chat and like you can see the history and everything. Um,
Super handy.
Yeah, and this is pretty cool. It will let you manage all your agents locally, um, as well as you can see here, you have the GitHub Copilot coding agents, which are the ones that Alex was showing. And let's go ahead and click on this. Oh, I think people cannot see it, but you can click on these context menu to select show rich descriptions, and this will bring a little bit more context into your agent and all your agent agentic flows. So you can see here, it tells you the PR number, it tells you the diff, um, which is pretty cool. Let's go ahead and open it, and it will create this chat editor that shows you all the work that it's been doing, what it did, and what files were modified. Let's go ahead and kick off one from directly this view and say, make a really nice hello world app in React. See what happens. And so this will kick off a GitHub Copilot coding agent, and it will show up here. And then it's kind of like a way for you to manage all your work asynchronously. While this happens in the background, let's go ahead and I want to show you the way that I do it the most, the way that I kick off new agents, which is usually I say, going to ask mode here and say, if I wanted to build a really nice React app in this project, how would you do it? Give me a plan, right? So what this does is just lets the LLM work on a plan, suggest you multiple things, and then the cool thing is you can modify the plan as you go, right? Like if it does something that you don't really want it to do, you modify it and you say like, you know what? Don't go that route, go this other route. And then at the end, once you have a plan that you really like, for example, here, let's say is doing the React app setup, which is like all the dependencies, which is really nice. Even monitoring analytics, great. Build and deployment configuration, all of this. I'm like, oh, this sounds great. This sounds great. Go ahead and implement it, right? And then you have this little guy here that you can click, and it will send all this into your task. And so there's more context to your coding agent task, right? And it's asking here, and I think in the chat, Matthias asked about if you can do it from a PR, right, or like from a different branch, and you can include your changes, and you will create a new branch with your local changes, and then push the task, right? I
Awesome.
would say include the changes, and
And is, that, like, little cloud icon to delegate to coding agent, is that available to everyone in Stable now?
I believe it is available to
Cool.
everybody in stable. Um, you need to install the GitHub pull request extension, and yeah, it'll start working in the background. It's gonna take a while, so let's go ahead and open this one. You see all your session logs and everything. I agree with Alex. I usually don't pay too much attention to this. I just want to see the diffs and like all the files that were modified. Once we have them, you have these helpers here to see your changes, to apply your changes locally to your current working directory, or check out the pull request. You can also go here and click on this one, and it will bring up all your changes in a multi-diff editor, which is pretty cool to see everything that it worked on. And you can also right click on this and check out. Oh, you cannot see the right click. Well, I encourage you to right click and to see the context menu here. There's multiple actions that you can do. Right now, I just click on checkout pull request, and you're now on the context of this pull request, which is pretty cool. You can merge it. You can keep iterating, asking Copilot to do more work.
Cool. So, you kind of ended up showing this, 'cause one of my questions was, right? We saw all the cool view in the GitHub pull request extension that Alex showed, you're showing right now, and then we have the chat sessions view. And so do y'all usually think of those views as like the chat sessions view is, you're just getting an overview of like what's the status, what are all my different chats I have going and agents going. And then as soon as you're actually reviewing the PR, then you kind of come back into the GitHub pull request view. Is that the flow?
Yeah, I think that's the way that I do it most of the time. Once it becomes a PR that I want to like submit and people for reviewing and all that, I use that. And one little thing to notice is you can see here in the status bar, it will tell you about your sessions and your agentic tasks, how they're doing, they're still in progress. You can just like have them here and have a visible notification to be like, oh, they're done. I can go back and take a look at them. You know?
Awesome.
Yeah.
One question, on I believe this is from the local chat sessions with the history. Can you search the history for your local chat sessions?
You can't search history, but that's a great idea.
Cool.
You might be able to. Like, so you can do the Control Alt F just to do a tree search if the keyword you care about is in the title.
That's a great idea, though. I feel like, oops, I think that was a great feedback and a great segue into we're hearing feedback all the time, and this is an experimental setting, but we love people to try it and let us know what they think, what they like. If there's something new that we could build, that it will help kind of like make this better. We're all ears and we love feedback.
On that note, where is the best place for people to file feedback? Is it in the VS Code repo?
That's right.
Cool. Well, I know that it's a lot and a lot of cool new stuff here. I feel like every month, the integration just gets more and more seamless. There's a lot of love for all of this in the chat, saying they love the view and just kind of the seamless way. And I love kind of what both you and Alex mentioned, where like you think of it as just you delegate to coding agent and then you kind of don't think about it. It really is kind of shifting to like viewing coding agent as just another teammate, right? Where maybe y'all talk and you say, okay, this is the feature it needs to do. And then you go let your teammate do it. And then you come back and you review it and you have a collaborative session there. And so just really shifting to that mindset of it's an AI teammate, I think is a really powerful concept.
Yep. Yep. And if you have real life things to do, like walking your dog and stuff like that, you can always just send it to a coding agent. And
Yeah. If you actually want to leave your computer sometimes.
yeah,
Thank y'all so much for coming on and demoing that. Lots of love for that. And I'm sure we'll have you on in the future too to see even more improvements. Thanks, y'all.
Also, yeah.
you